When it comes to exclusive games for Xbox, 2022 is not going to be a very good year for them. With Xbox Game Pass releasing one massive title after the other though, the question becomes, does it even matter? Xbox wrapped up their 2022 game showcase, and with it some huge titles was announced for the next 12 months. One notable absence was the lack of first party releases though for 2022. The most notorious being Starfield and Redfall being pushed back to 2023. Visibly absent from the event also Everwild, Perfect Dark and Fable, all of which has huge production issues should the reports be believed. Now right now there might not be any big exclusives on the way in the next 6 months, but the broader 12 months does paint a far better picture. Two big highlights in the show was Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, both of which will most likely be released under the Xbox banner once the acquisition of Activision Blizzard goes through. Now although no added benefit was announced for these titles, should you be an Xbox Game Pass member, one has to believe that both these titles will most likely be added to the service, the most likely scenario being a day and date release. Now one thing that Xbox did do though is lay out exactly what we can expect to see from Game Pass over the next 12 months. The roadmap for 2022 might be carried by third-party partnerships, but 2023 is where most of the focus will be. Redfall, Starfield and Motorsport will be the three biggest releases for Xbox. By watching the game showcase and listening to interviews, it is also clear that Xbox is starting to move away from selling consoles. Their plans for the future is clear. Games, games and more games. It is impossible for one company, especially Xbox, who has to rebuild after years of neglect, to release one first-party giant after the other. Thus, there are also heavy focus on third-party partnerships and acquisitions. The inclusion of Bethesda, Activision and Blizzard will go a long way to assist with this problem, but strong third-party support will also be needed. This is the reason why we are seeing partnerships with companies like Riot Games and also Ubisoft. We are also seeing other big releases on a monthly basis as Microsoft continue licensing titles. Now Xbox is not just doubling down on Game Pass for their future, but there is also a big investment in cloud gaming as well. It has long since been believed that the Series consoles might be the last consoles for Xbox as their battle for cloud gaming continues. Last week, ahead of the summer showcase, they released some massive plans for the future. Xbox made it clear that they want gaming to be accessible to as many people as possible, including those who do not own a console. Microsoft rolled out the Xbox app, which is available right now if you have a Wi-Fi supported Samsung TV. All you need is an account, an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and a controller. They are also planning on releasing a device called Keystone, which will function in the same capacity as a 3D modem. The device will allow you to stream games on your TV even if it does not support Wi-Fi, and it will be the size of a phone, making it easier to carry around when you travel. Now overall, it is clear that Xbox has some big plans ahead of them over the next 12 months. They are shifting their priorities and are now heavily invested into their future. They have spent over $100 billion in acquisitions alone, and if that doesn't signal commitment to you, then I just don't know what will.